We'll see who checks in here. I don't know when I was checking in on the last live. It's been a while, but the last live we did in the garden, I didn't even realize it didn't come through very well. Nobody said, hey, it's coming in broken and barely readable. Everybody just went along with it. Thanks for nothing. Hope everybody's midweek hump day is going well. This is not really a chat necessarily about anything in particular. Current events are always ongoing and on topic, and but it's like the pace is picked. Like we had that lull. Like May was almost peaceful, right? Like May was pretty calm, and then all of a sudden, June, it's like we're back into that every other day thing. Like something new's popped up. Everybody forgot about Ukraine and Russia. Everybody forgot about like what was going on right before everything kicked off in Iran. Like people forgot all about that stuff, right? Like there was something that was on everybody's hot topic, and like Iran popped off and everybody just dropped it. Not to mention the economic situation, right? But hope everybody's doing well this week. Hope everybody has checked in and doing all the things, because all the things are necessary to get through the madness that is in our face and on its way in the future. But yeah, since Memorial Day, its business kind of picked up quite a bit. So hope everybody's been staying frosty, whether it's the protest or the threat of nuclear annihilation or whatever it might be. Hope you're doing well. Hey, what's up? The Nickel is in the house. Well, that was just in the last couple of weeks. Hey, Nickel, you know, that's all been the last couple of weeks. That's no big deal. And that's died down to like nothing. That's another thing. It was like big deal, and then now it's like nothing. Nobody even talks about that anymore. Except, I guess, maybe if you're in the cities that those things are happening, but I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Like, is it still even going on in LA? Has anybody seen anything? I don't even know if did the Marines pull out of LA? Are the Marines still in LA? I haven't even seen anybody talking about that. Like, they had the one of the Marines detaining the guy, and then it's been like calm silence ever since then. So typical news cycle of hyping people up and keeping them hyped up and not really providing any resolution to anything. That's probably the biggest thing to notice, is how they do that, jumping from one thing to the next, you know, and not providing resolution to that thing that you were talking about previously. What's up, Bikes and Bullets in the backwoods of Arkansas? What is up? The Surf Pro guy is going to pull up here. How's the heat out in the east there? You guys are all east of the Mississippi. How's the vast heat dome that they keep talking about, and the humidity kicking in? There's a Surf Pro guy. $100, that's ridiculous. It was relatively cool here all last week. Relatively cool. And heat switch kick in the rest of this week. Still in the 80s today, which is reasonably to deal with. But 100, that's just brutal with humidity. Muggy in Bikes' neighborhood. Just had a couple big rains, right? Yeah, Tony, was it Tony did a video? No, I don't think it was Tony. Somebody else in their whole, like, just puddles everywhere. I was watching, like, yeah, it's getting a little bit of rain. So I guess the distractions from the big beautiful bill didn't work as planned, I don't think, because I think they were trying to push that through while everybody was kind of distracted with all the other ongoings in the Foreign Relations Department and otherwise. But yet that hasn't got through yet. There's so many faults with that thing. It makes you seem like they're doing it on purpose, just to get people riled up, because everybody and their mom is fired up about that thing. um, whether it's selling off property or whatever. You know, the whole selling of public lands got everybody riled up. And goes back to the original argument: the feds shouldn't have it to begin with. You know, all on purpose, right, Bikes? Right? It does seem so. Just when you thought you'd get some resolution on something, right? So we're going to kick the can here, until October. Watch. In October, they're going to kick the can again with no resolution, no full year budget planning. Like, it's ridiculous. And the debt and deficit increase. And if you're not locked in on some hard metals or hard resources, you're getting screwed. Just the way it is. Fake stuff is on the descent, at least as far as it goes with your value and purchasing power. Nickel always talking about basketball. Nickel, you gotta stop doing lives and not having the ability to comment on it. I'll check in on a live and if I can't comment, I just go on my way somewhere else. You gotta make it so I can enable comments on that, If I ever get back around to checking it out, I usually don't comment. Oh, Trump versus the Fed. There's another staged sideshow. Powell made some comments today, didn't he? At a speech. Yeah, that whole idea that Powell and Fed are opposing and Trump are opposing each other, when the Fed and Trump both want a weak dollar. They both want debt and deficits. Just Powell's trying to play it off like he's not going to lower interest rates. And Trump keeps prodding him along like they fight each other. It's bizarre. It makes you wonder what's really going on with that. Because you figure they would have lowered them by now. But Trump keeps kicking them while they're down on that whole deal. A mystery. We talked about it. We've talked about that a lot. Ultimately, is the Fed going to save the banks or save the people? We shall see. Yeah, the Vince budget is over $1 trillion now. $1 trillion bills for everybody. You get $1 trillion, you get $1 trillion. It's like Oprah up there. You get $1 trillion and you get $1 trillion. What's up, Uman? How you doing? I see Uman quite a bit on the Twitter these days. Always hitting back hard about the situation in Chicago. Speaking about big city situations, the great city of New York elected a communist Muslim for mayor. So rest in peace to the city of New York. It ain't going to get no better. He wants to have city-run grocery stores, all kinds of madness, defund the police. And all these feminist white women are like all in love with him. They all love him. He's going to have them in burqas walking down the street in no time. That's one of the most bizarre voting patterns you think you'll ever see. Voting for your own subjugation. Only the people can save the people. Preach it, Nickel, preach it. And Steve has checked in, of Corsair Trainer. Corsair Trainer's in the house. I think I caught the end of yours the other Monday, Steve. Always on point. Yeah, Steve, you'd know. I was asking earlier, are any of those protests still going on? I haven't heard really anything about any of the protests. It seems like they've all died off now. The ICE raids and stuff kind of just went by the wayside real quick, like. And now it's about Iran, and that's whole dying out really quick, like. It's like, what's next? Everybody's looking around bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Just waiting for the next shoe to drop on something just bizarre. As I am waiting here for my purveyor of Chinese chicken. Beta commies in New York, says Bikes. Yeah, I think this is a true believer. It was interesting. Schumer went to the hospital this morning, I guess, and I commented on the Twitter there that I think Schumer had too much at the party last night. He got a little too lit to handle his mud today. But yeah, the commies are really living it up. The division they're continuing to cause, and getting the upper hand on everybody. It seems like, with all the different political shenanigans and public perception. Steve Chick says there aren't protests like before. They're actively patrolling and interfering with ICE. Next phase of the guerrilla warfare. I did see something about they were posting on Telegram or posting on some other site like or WhatsApp or something, or Waze, or I don't know. They were using some app like that, and they were using that to notify people where ICE was. And oh yeah, because they had that lady from New York, that crazy from the TV, from the old HBO feminist super lesbian TV show. She was walking down the street talking about it. Oh, no, she was talking about the mayor. That was separate. I got my stories mixed up. But crazy white liberal ladies are all alike. But yeah, I read about them posting the ICE's locations and stuff and tracking and stuff like that. I did see that. Kind of interesting angle, which I guess if you're the ICE guys, you just got to coordinate further out in a different point in time, and you got to wonder where they're getting their information from to do targeted hits, to do targeted pickups and stuff. Interesting to see how they're working on that, and their surveillance agenda has got to mix it up a little bit so they can get eyes on and make sure people they're looking for are actually there when they get there. It's got to be challenging. Bike says the groups and foundations, the non-profits funding these riots, is in the open. Yeah, there's been a lot of that. Who was it? Was it a politician that was sponsoring? Oh no, it was the founder of Walmart that they were talking about that was funding a bunch of the open air protests. Yeah, they tracked that down back to the founder of Walmart's daughter, I guess I should say. She's part of the current board or whatever, one of the Waltons, Imagine that. People that were in bed with the Clintons are all in on this ICE protest, destabilizing the republic, trying to enforce the oligarchy on people. Imagine my shock that they're on board with that. Truly amazing. Fire that we had out here kind of died down pretty quick. That was good. I don't know if anybody was tracking that. It got pretty big, 17,000 acres, but it was all going off of the nowhere. It started in an actual residential and moved on to wildland. So it kind of moved away from the houses, which I guess is good in the big picture. But yeah, it's that fire season. California hasn't smogged us out yet. We'll see if they start something on fire anytime soon. It's always the concern this time of year. Yeah, the garden check-in went well yesterday. We need the heat for certain plants, but we need water. Need more water for different plants. It's kind of a struggle with the garden to make sure everything's growing properly. I'm just have to move the peas and cabbage to somewhere else next year. Figure out a place to put things where they're in the shade a little bit instead of out in the open garden is what I'm going to do with the some of those root plants and the cabbage and broccoli, peas, stuff like that, the cooler stuff. Find a place to put that little more in the shade more often than what's going on now. Steve says one assistant mayor of a small town in the LA area was calling for the gangs to step up and defend their territory. Is that right? Well, we figure they already defend it already, don't they? I mean, gangs are pretty territorial. Can you imagine a mayor saying, "Hey, gangs, get out there and fight"? That's the most bizarre thing ever, right? I can't even imagine how many little cities are there around LA? I can't imagine which one it would be. Long Beach, Inglewood. Yeah, we'll see how that slow burn part of that whole thing goes. Because that's one of those slow burning back burner things that just continues in the background until it blows up again. It ain't like they're going to stop. Yeah. Bike says, I thought Escape from New York and Escape from LA were just movies. Waiting for those 100-foot walls now. Both cities, right? Like right now, like both cities are like full on Canada. It's like, let's just lock them down right now. And, we'll call it Escape from New York and Escape from LA good. No doubt. Steve can't remember the name of the place right now. And Jay Sparks in the house. What is up, Sparks? How you doing? You're back east, right? Build your shade camo netting. Yeah, I got other places I can put it though. If I want the shade in the garden, I don't want to shade too much stuff around it. Like I said, I'll take the peas and stuff out of the middle of the garden, put them somewhere else, like in a small planter or smaller area. They live is checked in. It's getting hot out your way, I would imagine. They live. It always gets hot out there this time of year. In that, still in Missouri, huh? All right. Land of tornadoes. Stay frosty. $93 today. Yeah, I was in like top of the 80s around here today, so it's all good. And Bikes checks in. Fried potatoes and onions is calling. All right, and I got my Chinese chicken in here. Should be ready any minute. So I'll end it with that. Just want to check in and see what everybody's up to while I'm sitting here waiting for the panda cooking going on, and check in. It's been a while since we did a live. I need to. Another thing, I did that live in the garden, and there was a whole bunch of stuff I was talking about in there. Not only was the connection bad, but I thought my headphones were picking up my audio when they weren't. So every time I walked away from the camera, it didn't pick up. So there's a whole bunch of stuff I talked about in that video that I don't think went across to anybody. Patient just hanging out. Nobody said, "Hey, you can't hear you." Well, I need to update some things from that video and some activities ongoing and stuff, just to kind of keep everybody up. One of them being writing the book, so writing some books, the books. We'll see how that goes. Hey, what's up, Picario? What's up? What does Tony think about Trump now? I don't think Tony. Have you not been watching Tony Pick? Yeah, I think he's pretty much cursing out Trump. I don't think he ever was 100%, but yeah. Uman's got a break at 85 today, going back to 95 tomorrow. Yeah, the misery continues, right? The misery index. Yeah, Pika, I don't think Tony was ever 100% on it, but he was trying to look for the good in the whole thing with some of if he was going to do some of the cuts and stuff, but with this budget bill and none of the cuts happening, and I mean, the deportations has been a kind of a good thing, but it's kind of getting bogged down. It's like you get a step forward, 2 steps back with the whole thing. It's like everybody's getting the rope-a-dope, and nobody's getting anything good out of the whole thing. But we'll leave you with that, YouTube. Enjoy your hump day. Just a few minutes checking in and seeing what's up while we wait for our panda here. So y'all be good. Keep stacking. Keep getting the brass and lead and those things on point. And if you got any silver and gold shiny stuff, probably helps too. And we'll check on y'all later. Get those, all the things. It's all the things kind of situation. Because like Nickel said at the beginning, nobody's coming to save you. It's the people who are going to save the people. So it's up to us. All right. So y'all stay frosty out there. Prep hard. Live free. If I can remember how to get out of here. Oh, I don't know, Pika. You have to talk to him. I have no idea. Yeah, you just got to take it. You got to do what you got to do, Pika. Don't. If somebody gives you flack for it, just let it just roll on with it. Doesn't have to be the end of the world. Have a good one. All right. How do I close this out?